Friends, how are you doing? We're laughing because things are going well. What a time to be alive. What a time to be an investor. What a moment we find ourselves in here. So let's get into it. Let's get into it. It's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous time to be an investor for a lot of good reasons. So right now, we're in this situation where the market's breaking records, S&P, Dow, NASDAQ, running hot here. We're waiting on Trump's big, beautiful bill, as he calls it, to be passed here. We'll see if it happens. He's saying he wants it by July 4th, which the market will be closed that day, but, the Feds will still be working and pushing here. We'll see if it happens. It looks like it's gonna happen. We'll see. So that's gonna tell us more about the market. Possibly a rate cut this month. That's one reason why bank stocks are going really bananas right now. But of course there's fear out there too. Where there's highs, there are lows. So make sure you're positioning yourself in smart situations. Here's the Skippy stock market situation, like I said, running high. Tom Lee just gave a really good interview where he is saying that he expects the S&P 500 to close out at 6,600 points this year. Oh my God, that's big. But he is saying that people right now, he's seeing a lot of, this is not a recovery, this is a V-shaped recovery that a lot of people are mad about. And I could not agree with this more. I think everyone knows that buddy, that friend, that when things fell apart here with the tariff, deep sea tariff, the uncertainty in the market, where it was going, and then, a lot of it was wrapped up in politics too, because Trump was literally saying you need to invest in the market, you're going to make tons of money, blah, blah, blah. And, I know a few people in my personal life that were saying, I'm not putting any money in this market because I think blah, this, that with him. And I'm just like, dude, it's not about that. It's about you in your future and you as your individual, portfolio. Well, this is what, Tom is talking about too. He's talking about people that have missed opportunities since that crash, and now we've had this humongous V-shaped recovery, and it's still going. Now, obviously, there's going to be some choppy waters here. We're expecting that out here in these uncharted waters that we're at right now. We're going to find some big tidal waves, but that's okay. We're expecting them because I think a lot of people have taken some profit at this point too. So I want to go right into the obvious. Big Bear here. This is holy smokes. So with this, let me dissect what I've made here, okay? So, the question right now with Big Bear is, it's obviously running with the market. It's running on hype. It's running on good news. It's running on what if, maybe, okay? And these are numbers that we've been waiting for. Big Bear's been undervalued. No doubt about it, okay? If you know me, if you've heard me, yap my gums here about Big Bear, you should know how I feel about it. I'm bullish on it, but I am very hard on it too, where they need more deals. But I am in this, I'm living in this world, I'm drinking this juice that I do think they're going to get more. I think they're going to get bigger government contracts. I think they're going to be a part of what's going on with Trump in this whole defense conglomerate of a deal, NATO, Canada, Golden Dome. Just billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars that Big Bear will at least get a slice of that pie, even if they got a measly contract for, $500 million. That would be life-changing for Big Bear. Now, obviously, that's the fairy tale story we're looking for here. We'll see if we get that. So with that, Big Bear, a lot of expectation, a lot of hot topic, conversations going on right now with it. Big Bear's found itself in this range of $7.22 was the high today. Like that, hit it. Wasn't able to capture that towards the end of the day. We still sold off to good position here, where we sold off today. So this is still a place where Big Bear is in this very, very, very beautiful position right now. And this has been an organic push. This hasn't been like back when it ran up here to $10 and sold off. It happened on 3 days. Now, the curious part that I will say about that situation that is resembling this situation is that Big Bear did find itself in a moment where it did run to $7 back when we had this last push here just a few months ago. Big Bear went to $7, and a lot of us thought, well, maybe that's it. Well, then from there it went to $10 and some change. So I'm not saying that's going to happen again, but if it's going to happen, this is the moment. So right now, I think the question is, how high will Big Bear go? In what is the landing going to be? What is the new position going to be? Now, obviously, Big Bear's got quarterlies here in August. Now, will they beat these quarterlies? They'll at least come close. We know that. That's the main thing, that they're at least going to do better than what they did of Q2 of 2024. And that's good. I mean, that's good. And this has been my whole conversation with Big Bear, a lot of it too. Right now, I look at Big Bear as this year I'm making position. I'm trying to store up as much as I can with Big Bear, because I think there's a lot more to come here in 2026, 2027. Now, obviously, that's a ways away. But if Big Bear can keep finding itself in this moment of this administration, the hype and push in the market, AI, defense, Big Bear is going to continue to roll along here with a lot of expectation. Listen, there are a lot of stocks out there right now that aren't making any money, that are like 30, 40, 50, 60 bucks. Okay. Tempest, CRISPR. I mean, I can go down the line with a lot of these stocks that aren't making jack squat, but the expectation of them is very high. Now, obviously, Big Bear, they're making money. They're just still not beating what they need to with expectation. And yes, they have debt, but they are paying it down. Like I said, on track here. How high can we go with Big Bear? If we go to 12, there's a possible range. I think the higher it pushes in a faster situation, the lower it will fall, if that makes sense here. So if we get to 12 here, we'll probably fall back down to, $6 to $5 range. If we get to 10, maybe we'll, find yourself in a situation of going to $4. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. But I do think, with all that said, and here's the golden thing that I want to say, I think that we have broken the wall. I think investors have broke through. Big Bear has shown itself at this point to be a contender with what's going on in this market. People are not going to lose track of it now. It's being watched like a hawk by investors, because the expectation and the what if is so intense right now with this stock. Everyone's watching it. Big money's watching now. I people, I know some personal people people that I know personally that were saying awful things about this stock, months ago, are now like, I'm paying attention to what's going on here with Big Bear because things have changed so radically. I mean, this is a stock, literally 2 weeks ago, we were buying, this was, $3, $4. I was literally getting comments on YouTube 2 weeks ago. I remember them specifically because they just popped up while I was like playing Elden Ring. Like, I remember somebody said, you should be ashamed of yourself for telling people to buy this stock because it's going to have a reverse split. It's in debt. They're not going anywhere. This is, you should stop this. I get a lot of those, okay? I've been getting those for years now, okay? But I expect it. I've got a big mouth. I yap my mouth on here. I'll take it. It's okay. But the ones of us who have pushed into Big Bear are now the ones that are reaping the benefit. Is that the right word there? We are the ones that are counting the gold now. And I think it's going to continue. But I do want to say this. This push is a lot different than the last push we had here with Big Bear. We find ourselves in this situation where Big Bear is steadily climbing, and this has been kind of where where I think Big Bear should be, at this $5 to $7, maybe $8 range here. Because I mean, look at SoundHound. SoundHound, there's an argument to say that Big Bear is more favorable with their future than SoundHound. I would make that argument. I think I made that video Saturday, Sunday, I can't remember, but that was kind of my thing where I would pick Big Bear over SoundHound, just because of the futures of what it could be bringing out here. So I think right now we're very much in this realm of what's going to happen the rest of the week in the market. This bill is going to control a lot of the flow of the market here with what's going to happen. There's a reason why everything is going so good here. Big Bear, I would say, is in new waters itself organically. This is uncharted territory with Big Bear at this pace. This is just a real push. This isn't like a squeeze. This is simply investors pushing, selling, pushing, selling, pushing, selling. It's great. It's fantastic. So I am curious to see what is the landing going to be and what is the high going to be. I would be peachy and A-okay if Big Bear at this point pushed to 750 to 860, and then we saw, the lowest it could go at this point was 530, maybe 480. And I'm going to tell you what, right now, with this healthy movement that we have seen with Big Bear, if Big Bear falls back down to 530 to even the high fours at this point, you're going to see it get bought up dramatically. It's going to get bought up dramatically because now, the door's been open at this point. People, they're looking inside and they're going, okay, people are foaming at the mouth to get into Big Bear right now at $4, $5. 2 weeks ago, no one would ever believe me if I came on here and said, hey, I'm from the future. Big Bear is going to be almost $8 here, in 2 weeks. No one. I was pretty much kind of saying it, and a lot of us were seeing it, but then there was people that just weren't seeing it. So the next hill that is going to be pushed here with Big Bear undoubtedly is going to be the 750, 860 range. And the fact that Big Bear, it pushed so well today, it just kept pushing with the market. It had a better day than Palantir when it came to volume. It was still chiseling out its own road here. The next hill it's trying to get to is $7.50, $8 range here. It could find it tomorrow. As long as this bill is in the air and the aroma in the market is continuing on this high and everyone's happy, it's obvious the market will pull back here at some point. Something will trigger a market pullback, and that's okay. We listen. If the market just constantly went up, we wouldn't make any money. We things have to show themselves, okay? And this is what we're looking at with Big Bear right now. We're trying to see what the resistance is, and we're trying to see what the new lows are. Right now, we really haven't seen what the new highs are really like real highs. What is it? What is the real new wall here with Big Bear? Is it $8? Is it 7 and some change? What's the new low? What's the worst that we can see out of Big Bear right now? Is it $4.80? Whoa. If the worst that we can see out of Big Bear right now is $4.80 or $5.30, holy freaking smoke. I know a lot of you were buying Big Bear at $2, $2.50, $3, $3.80, $4 at this point. You're still in profit. This is how people become rich in the market, man. This is how things radically start changing for you. It's that simple. Take profit where you need to take profit. But I will tell you that I do think the tide is changing here on Big Bear. Obviously, quarterlies are coming up here, but like I said, I don't know that Big Bear is going to execute this quarterly. I don't even think they're going to blow expectation away. I don't think it's going to be like, holy freaking smokes. I don't think it's going to be like that. I think if anything, it'll just be like, they beat quarterlies. This was good. 5%. Okay, we'll take it. It's at least more positive, outlook of what we've already seen with the positive, situation of what Big Bear is unraveling right now. So with that, friends, I think this is a beautiful situation for a lot of us. Okay, I know a lot of I've tried to read everybody's comments and stuff. There's a lot today, but it's wonderful. I love when people win in the market. I love when investors just do well. I want to see people make money, man. I really do. I love that. I love when people just hit stocks. It's a feeling that sadly a lot of people will never feel. The guy that wrote me 2 weeks ago who told me I should feel terrible about myself and all that. He's not sharing this moment with us right now. That's the sad part about this. You can go buy Apple stock. You can go buy Home Depot stock. You can go buy Walmart stock. It's a great idea. But there's sometimes if you're going to make it in this market, you got to be ruthless, just like the market. You gotta take a risk in the market, man. This market is ruthless. It is ruthless, and it is looking for naive people. It is 100%. It will take your money. So, like I say that too. Like, if you need to take profit, take profit. I don't. Until we see more proof of bigger deals in quarterlies being met here with Big Bear, I don't know that Big Bear is going to get away from us. Now, obviously, there could be some kind of bigger push coming. I am very optimistic that something bad's going to happen. I'm very cautious that, there's a lot of warning signs right now, because the market has been so hot. Big Bear's been running here now for all of last week. This week starting off very hot. Friday the market's not even open. I'm looking for some pushback. We're gonna see what happens here, but I nonetheless, what I said before, I still stand by that. I think the door has been open. I think the door has been open here, and Big Bear is, it is in this ground of people are not going to stop paying attention to it. I think we could close out the year here with Big Bear if it continues to push into the market and find itself in this, just in this frenzy of the zeitgeist of what people are looking for in the market with defense and AI. I think it could close out easily at, $10 this year. I mean, obviously we're pretty much halfway through the year here. So I think it's possible. I definitely think it's possible, especially if we get another deal. I mean, imagine if Big Bear tomorrow were to say like, hey, we just got, even a $50 million deal here with a defense or just some random company. That would change everything. That would pretty much, that would seal up the deal. That would be like throwing just pouring gas on top of a fire already. Big Bear would go crazy. So friends, I'll stop yapping about Big Bear and just talking about Palantir real fast. The sweet golden child that it is, Palantir. And obviously what, it's no secret, what we want for Big Bear is what we're getting now for Palantir. In Palantir, I am not a person to come on here and say bad things about Palantir. I'm not going to do it. I haven't done it in 2 years. I'm still not going to do it now, especially with what it's been doing and been so good to a lot of us. I think that Palantir is going to close out the year at $200. I think that Palantir is going to continue to execute quarterlies. I think that they are obviously in this. It's special. It's a special situation. It's. If you see the big, broad picture of what Palantir is, I think you almost have to say to yourself, is this even legal that we can invest in this? Is this for real? It's almost like DJT, Trump Media, where it was like the last 2 years we were violently, viciously trading that stock back and forth because it was so controlled by investors and making a lot of money off of it. And now, the person behind that stock, their face, and the somewhat owner, Trump, I look at Palantir here and I go like, they're in the administration, they're getting unbelievable amount of deals. Quarterlies are being executed higher each time they come out. The next 4 years are more than likely sealed up with what they're doing, just continuing to get deals here. And what they offer with their software is getting into a situation where it's just getting more of a frenzy that's, companies, people, countries are wanting it. So, I think Dan Ives is right. I think a lot of these big investors are right. It's going to turn into a $1 trillion market cap. I think right now we're just in this youthful stage of, it's about to go into adulthood with producing $1 billion quarterlies. We're 35 days out of Q2 here, and we could be in a push to 170 to 160, just in that range. I think it's about to go crazy. I would not kid yourself that, Palantir is probably about to push like we've never seen before here. So, be prepared. I think what August obviously is going to be a huge month because almost every stock is going to be releasing quarterlies. So I would not I wouldn't be shy or naive to the fact that the market may have one nice little pullback here, nice big pullback here, and then towards the end of July, we really start pushing into, even bigger numbers here, and maybe we get a rate cut. I don't know. I don't know if the Feds are going to do it or not, friends. Very exciting day, very exciting time to be an investor. I mean, dude, if you're not excited about this market, I don't know what more to tell you to get excited. This is such an amazing moment to be an investor. Like, I mean, I said this over the weekend too. Imagine 5 years ago when people were investing in Tesla, Nvidia, even Microsoft, for God's sakes, at that point, AMD, things like stocks that were already grounded and had done massive numbers. Oracle, and Oracle was still, there was a lot coming with Oracle in those next few years, but even at that point in time, a lot of those companies, those stocks, people thought like, man, they're not going to do much more. They've found their revenue. I mean, they can't produce much more. They're not going to, what are we missing out here? Let's go after other things. Those stocks have changed lives once again. They did it 10 years ago, and they just did it again in this last 5 years. Imagine these companies, even Palantir, that we can push into now. What is 5 years from now going to look like? Friends, this is how people, you can build a retirement fund here more than what people work 30 years to get, just in a few short years investing in this market. This is golden opportunity. I mean, it's literally free money right in front of you. If you just pay attention and make a road for yourself and stay on the road here, stay on track with it, you will do well. You'll do well. Friends, take care of yourself, and I will talk to you soon. Bye, everyone.